Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Girl from Schenectady podcast. I'm your amazing host, Odunayo Magic Kodumi, aka Ayo Magic, the girl from Schenectady. Yay! So today, guys, I'm super duper excited about my guest. He's one of my favorite people on earth. I adopted him as my family. As my brother. He's adopted by me. I don't know if he knows that, but he is. And we're gonna have an amazing discussion. So I hope you guys are ready for this one. Fasten your seatbelts. But before I introduce him, I want to say a few things about his background, so you guys know who he is, and some things about him. So he is a Nigerian-born, Cameroon-raised, Los Angeles-based actor and filmmaker. Within a couple of years in LA, he received an NAACP Theater Award nomination for playing the character Monday in The Godbotherers. Other plays followed, including the critically acclaimed world premiere Butterflies of Uganda, A Providential Occurrence, The Fair Maid of the West, Saturday Night at the Palace, and Somewhere in the Middle. TV credits include The Unit, Scrubs, NCIS Los Angeles, Nip Tuck, and a recurring role as Chukwuemeka in Chuck Lorre's CBS hit show Bob Hart's ABISHOLA. As a writer, his first instincts is to tell smart, diverse, and thought-provoking stories that offer a different perspective of the African immigrant experience. His goal as a filmmaker is to bring more stories to the African-born American to the big screen. And in addition to exploring themes from a rarely talked about African perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Tony TAMBI. Yay! Hello, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, sis.
So happy to see you. You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You were with me before for season, I think it was like season one. Yeah, we did like audio when it was just audio, guys. And that was an amazing conversation. So I'm super excited about this one.
And I'm glad to be back.
Thank
We
you.
had fun then.
Yay. So now I'm excited with this quote. I have a quote as usual that I want to start with. I want to get your opinion. You ready? Mm-hmm. Living with regrets is like driving a car that only moves in reverse, by Jodi Picoult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's deep.
It's deep. It's heavy. It's relatable.
Yeah.
As well too.
Really?
Yeah, because there's always regret. There's always things. I don't think anybody has gone through life without not regretting something.
Yeah.
You're like looking back, like I love the whole connection to driving the car in reverse.
Yeah.
You have to be asking yourself, why did I?
And it's interesting what you just said, because when I'm driving in reverse, I have to look back because I don't want to hit something.
I mean, we have the fancy cameras now in the cars that you can just look ahead and see, but
that's true.
The analogy of driving in reverse makes total sense.
Yeah.
Total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could also keep you stuck. Because I don't know, has regret ever made you do something different sometimes?
I think it has. Like, I'm trying to think of something specific, but I think in a way it does, because I'll think about how the outcome was not what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I have to do it over and I have to fix it.
So yes, and from that perspective, definitely regret is great in that it gets you. But to me, I see that as experience. So like, you learn from the past, now you're doing it differently.
Yeah.
But regret is just, for me, I was talking about regret in terms of something we can't change.
Okay.
Or like an opportunity that you
that's
possibly
right.
can never
that
have
is
again.
Different. Okay, you're right. That is different. Something that you can't have again. Oh my.
It's like an audition.
I feel like there has to be something.
You go mess up somewhere and you're like, give me those 5 minutes
back again, and you can't get it.
Yeah.
I have a few. There's definitely a few situations in my life, that I definitely regretted. But man, that's tough.
I love the quote. I love
this quote. Like, it's making me think deeper than I expected.
Okay.
Yeah.
The quote was grounding.
Yeah.
It just told me to calm down.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I agree.
Good quote.
It's a good quote. It's just on some level, it's like we can't avoid having regrets because we're going to go through life. Things are going to happen that we can't go back and fix. But somehow, I guess for me, I have to accept that it happened. I didn't like it. I do regret it, but I'm not going to stay back there.
Yes.
I'm not going to stay there. I got to keep moving forward and believe that somehow, some way, I'm going to get better. I'm going to improve. Next time that I find myself in that situation or I have an experience that's similar, somehow I'll try to find something positive from it.
True.
To help me move forward.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That's my thing, but you can't avoid it.
Yeah, you can avoid it.
Yeah.
And you will always have things you regret.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
just
life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
life.
It's life.
Definitely.
Because we're always learning. We're always growing. It's a process. Right? Woo, man.
Good quote.
That
Love
was a good one.
Love it.
I didn't even expect it to be that deep, honestly.
Love it.
Until we started getting into it. And I was like, yo, this is a deep quote. Okay. All right, let's move on with these questions. Listen, I got some great questions for you.
Hey,
and I know my brain's crazy. I just have all these situations and circumstances, just stuff I find myself in. And that's where these questions come from.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to
Okay.
to hear the questions.
Okay, here we go. So the first one is, how do you think the level of effort an actor or artist puts into earning their opportunity affects their appreciation for success? Like, do you believe those who are given easy access to the industry value it less than those who work hard to break in?
Ooh. Great question.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally, I can start with my personal experience.
Okay.
Like some of the things that I consider the most successful that I've done didn't come from putting in an extraordinary amount of effort.
Yeah.
So I've put in a lot of effort for other things which didn't lead to anything. So I appreciate all of them the same way. It doesn't matter how much, like, so to me, so maybe there's some people who, because things were handed to them, it doesn't mean much to them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily true either. We have a lot of let's say we call them nepo babies, right?
Yeah.
Who are some of the hardest working people in the business.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any people who have had stuff handed to them who still don't put in the work. There's a lot of work you have to do.
You still have to do, right?
But I know people who've also worked their way up and just gotten to a point where they're like, I don't care. Yeah, so I don't think so. I think it depends on the individual.
Yes.
Some of them would just get stuff handed to them.
Yes.
Some don't. But I think effort depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's connected to how easy it was for them to get what they got or how difficult it was for them to get what they got.
Okay.
Because you still hear people who audition, struggle to get a role, and then do something ridiculous in set. I don't think it's because they didn't appreciate it. I don't think it's because they appreciate it less.
Right.
But it's just who we are as people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
Among those who get stuff handed to them, there will be some who just will always take it for granted.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're doing that because it was handed to them. That's possibly just who they are as people.
That makes sense. I like that. Okay. And I'll tell you the reason why this question popped in my head. I like that you just said it's just who they are and their personality. I never thought of it that way. But there was an experience because, I do plays and I was casting a play a while ago. And I realized there was a few actors that auditioned. I made them audition or send me a self-tape. And there was just a few actors I ended up casting because I had to do some recasting at the last minute. And I just auditioned them based on their own original work and self-tapes that they had on their, like Actors Access profile. And I just felt in a way, I guess, or even I cast one or two actors from Instagram and I didn't make them audition. And I felt like because I felt maybe I gave it to them too easily, they were the exact actors that I felt they came in kind of like, I'm just going to show up late to rehearsal. I'm going to do whatever I want. I got, like whatever. And they thought, and again, that could also be on me. Maybe I feel like some people Because I'm so nice and they think they can like, just slack off with me until I'm like, actually, no, I will replace you. I have another actor on deck. You need to show up on time. You need to be professional. I'm paying you to be here. This is a job. Like I have to always like bring out the big guns, because people take for granted opportunities. And I'm just very big on wanting to work with people who are very, very humble and appreciate the work, because I know a lot of actors who work their butt off to get a part. And for you to get it, you should really appreciate that you got this part, and you should treat it like it's something important, like a professional, like, you know what I mean? That's how you get ahead. So I just experienced that for some actors, but I love that you said it could be just their personality. That's just who they are. I
could see how, like, when you cast somebody off maybe Instagram or somewhere else, they also don't get the other side of it, so they will take it seriously. But what I love about this conversation is the fact that personal experience, like between me and you, you've cast me in a bunch of things you've done.
I have.
I've never had to audition for you,
right?
And I would like to think that I showed up on time.
Yes,
every time,
that's interesting.
For every rehearsal, and I did my job. I would like to think so.
You did.
So. I understand the bad experience you've had.
Yes.
I am living proof that even when you hand me something on a silver platter, I still try to be as professional and show up on time and do my job.
Right.
I think so. I think so, right?
Yes. That's why I do that.
I don't think I've been bad or horrible or one of those.
No, you haven't been. No, that's why I want to keep working with you. You're right. I have cast you and keep asking you to do things because you're humble, you're professional, and you show up.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I tell a lot of actors this. I will keep working with the same actors who show up, who are driven, who are hungry, who are full of humility, who don't give me a hard time. I keep working with those actors, and they know. I've told them numerous times, because that is why I keep casting you and stuff. So, and we just had the conversation now, right?
I understand your bad experience.
Yes.
But at the same time, I want you to know that I am living proof of the good experience.
Of a good experience, yes.
So
yes.
Yeah, to me, it's really the individual.
I agree.
I've had some projects where I know I didn't give my all.
Yeah.
And sometimes I could have auditioned for them, and then you get in and you're like, okay, you don't like how it's going.
Okay.
You just feel that maybe the people producing it are not being professional enough.
Okay.
Or it's not what you wanted it to be, and then your energy kind of drops.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that has happened to me sometimes.
Okay.
Because if I say I've always been able to give my all every single time, I'll be lying.
You'll be lying. Okay. That makes sense. And I think that's relatable. Because, I feel like I try to give my all on anything I do, but there's always a part of me like, you could have done that better. You could have done that.
There's some projects that we connect with more than others.
Yes.
There's some projects that come easier to us.
Yes.
More than others. There's some projects where something makes you there's a additional drive from somewhere else.
Yes.
It just happens.
I agree.
It just happens.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I do think that there's just some projects that you get cast. For example, which we'll talk about later, is your role as Chukwuemeka in Bob Hart's ABISHOLA was I can't imagine anybody else playing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people who saw the show would say the same thing, Like, it was just a part that you were meant to play. And I feel like on some level, because we talked about the audition process, like, you just kind of you just fit. It just fit you, I felt like.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved that role.
Yeah.
Because people, obviously, the kind of story they were trying to tell, the African immigrant experience, something that's important to me.
Yes.
Like a different perspective of the African immigrant experience.
Yeah.
Cast, amazing. A lot of them my heroes. A bunch of them super talented.
Yeah.
Crew, amazing, friendly, nice, from the top, from Chuck Lorre all the way down to the, like, everybody was amazing, to the PAs, to assistants. So I was really lucky to be on there.
Yeah.
But it was one of those roles where, like, from the first time I saw it, I'm like, that's me.
That's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
It was just like the cast was Yoruba, and they're like, we want the person to be Igbo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm Igbo.
Yeah.
Age appropriate, right age.
Yeah.
Somebody who could be I guess in a way good looking. I don't call myself good looking.
You are.
I apologize.
You are good looking.
So
humble.
that then I'd watched part of the show, like not watched it, but we had seen little snippets, and I'm like, okay, I have to bring a different kind of energy. I haven't seen a certain type of energy on the show yet.
Yes.
Let me bring a different type of energy. Yeah. And then the character was a pharmacist. I come from family of medical doctors. My ex-wife was a pharmacist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is just, I just knew so much about the role.
Yes.
I just felt it was me. It was one of those where I'm like, this is me.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and all the years of hard work, it pays off. They'll just be after trying for so many times, and because we kind of talked a little bit about the hardship of trying to find a job and trying to book gigs, and then this role comes and it's like fits you perfectly. Like God was like preparing you for it almost.
They were
lining everything up.
It's happened before where there's roles where I thought those were me. I'm like, that is me. This has to be me.
Okay.
But this was just beautiful in how it ended up being me, and was great. Great experience all along. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Super.
Okay.
Eternally grateful to ABISHOLA.
Yeah, I am. I love it too. I know this isn't one of the questions I put down, but we'll get back to the questions, but really quick, because I know the show, ended and everything, but who knows? Maybe there'll be like a reboot or something, or a sequel or something to the show. What I was going to ask, if you could maybe like choose, where would you want to see your character Chukwuemeka and Kemi if the show came back? Like based on where we ended up. Yeah.
At the end, the cool thing with Chukwuemeka was they got him to go from being like the mama's boy.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, the beautiful idiot.
Yeah.
Somebody who could stand up for himself.
Yes.
And we ended up getting married.
Yes.
And we skipped, was it 5 years into the future? I don't know how many years we skipped ahead.
I think 7. Why do I feel like it was 7? I think I saw 7. Yeah.
And at that time, Kemi and I have opened up Kemi's, what was the name?
It was, you had like a food truck.
Yes.
You were doing a food truck. Was it Nigerian food?
Yes.
Yeah.
It had always been a dream of Kemi to open up her own food truck and start her own business.
Yeah.
And I had left. I was there supporting her.
Yeah.
And
she's yelling at you in the process.
So that kind of sort of answers some of the questions of where we would I would like it to be.
Yeah.
It's just me and Kemi in a supportive relationship, in a more understanding relationship. Because a lot of the show, Kemi doesn't really get me. I don't really get Kemi. And it was about getting to the point where we really could love each other a certain way, where we could support each other the right way. And I think the 7 years or 5 years into the future showed that, even though we still had the normal bickering because Kenny's like, and I'm like, woman,
yeah. It was funny.
But it was fun.
It's like they love each other though. Yes, like we can't see them like breaking up or anything, because there's still that love is still there.
Chukwuemeka will not leave Kemi.
Yeah, I don't see him leaving her.
Will not leave Chukwuemeka.
I don't think so.
There were a couple made for each other.
Yes,
definitely.
I agree.
So and I think if the story went ahead, I think it would have just been fun to see more of that Chukwuemeka Kemi dynamic. Just two people who love each other, but they keep expressing it in very different
ways. Yeah. I love it. Dynamic. I agree with you. Yeah. I agree, because they went through a nice journey together.
Yes.
I definitely and that's kudos to the writers, by the
amazing
way, too.
Writers,
really good writing.
Writers.
Oh my goodness, really good writing.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I just had to throw that in there. That was on my mind. All right, then moving on. Let's see what else we got. I wanted to ask you this question. Do you agree that life and success are more about the process and journey rather than the destination or the reward? And in what ways does personal development along the way matter more than the end goal?
Okay. Yes, so I do agree that what was the first part?
Yeah, the first part, yes. I know I said too much. Do you agree that life and success are more about the process than the journey?
Yes. Yes, big time. Because, again, using my personal experience or what I think, what is the end goal, right?
Yeah.
What is the end goal like?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I've been on a TV show. Now, what's the end goal? Another TV show.
Yeah.
Being on the TV show is success. Coming from where I came from, my background to be able to be on network TV in the United States of America.
Yeah.
For 5 seasons. That's success.
Yeah.
But now, so okay, does success mean winning an Emmy or an Oscar? Like success is a very relative term.
Yes.
So for me, it becomes about the process. It becomes about the journey. Those things are ultimately what. Those are the things that are more rewarding, and again, even the journey in itself. I have this thing that I say that success comes in a lot more. Comes in smaller portions than people realize.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, okay, I want to book this role. But then the success you had was that you booked that office.
Yeah.
That office now knows you're a good actor, even though you didn't book the role.
Okay.
So, like, to me, I'm all about embracing the little elements of success.
Yes.
As opposed to waiting for some big thing that may never come. Or even if it does come, as soon as it comes, you want something else.
Yes.
When you win an Oscar, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to win another Oscar.
Yeah.
So are you not successful because you won one Oscar?
Exactly.
And now what you want is ahead of you. So to me, it's really about the process.
Yeah.
It's really about the journey and just but enjoying the little success in the journey and in the process.
I love it. Yes. And partly of the reason why I brought up this question last episode, I had Paris on here. She's amazing.
Oh, yes.
She's so great. Her and her husband are phenomenal. And we were talking about, I told her about, I forgot what the question was. It was something similar. And I told her I have a friend who's told me that he won't be happy until he gets something. Like he wants to be, I forgot what is it, a film director or something like that. And he's like, well, when I get there, I'll be happy. And I'm like, okay, you get there and then what? He's like, well, I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Like, I'm like, you don't get the point. It's about it's content. It's about being content with where you are no matter what, And I was like, me and Paris, when we were talking about it, the way Paris said it was simple. She was like, you have to make everything a big deal. Otherwise it's not enough. It'll never be enough.
Yes.
It'll never be enough if you don't make a big deal out of all the small things that you're experiencing throughout the journey of what you want. Yeah. And I just thought that was so cool. The way she said it, she's like, it has to be a big deal. It has to be enough. Otherwise it won't be enough. And you won't feel fulfilled ever.
You have
right?
to keep doing a different evaluation of what success is.
Yeah,
even
that's
if success means, like, to me, I wanted Bob Hearts to go on for 10 years.
Yes.
But it stopped at 5.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it wasn't successful. It
was successful. Yeah.
So you have to just keep changing it and being honest with yourself. And again, striking that balance.
Yes.
Because the big thing is, like, you could go, you want more, but also being content with what you have in front of you.
Yeah.
But you have to stay driven.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't go like, I've reached that. I've reached the pinnacle. And I'm done.
Yeah.
You can never have that.
You can never have that.
We're artists, we have to keep looking for ways to, okay, I'm an actor, good. Now maybe I could write. Okay, good, I wrote. Now maybe I could direct. Oh, I directed, now maybe I could produce. Oh, I did this, I've never done an action movie before.
Yeah.
I've never done, you have to keep looking for ways to reinvent yourself and keep looking for ways to tell stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the work doesn't stop and the taste or the attempts to get a certain type of success.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't call this success, but you have to keep on going on that journey. You have to keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you have to be optimistic about the journey.
You have
wherever
to.
it takes you.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't land the way you think it will or you expect it, somehow you still have to see the growth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what it's about. Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love it. Okay. It's a journey that I'm on. These are words I'm speaking to myself every day too, I'm always constantly on this journey. It never ends. Like it's a constant thing, Okay. Next one. How do you stay grounded when life comes from you from all angles? Like what strategies, habits, or support systems help you maintain your mental well-being during overwhelming times? And I just had to ask you this because you're a man and I have a few guys that I see, I feel like I've known you for a long time and I feel like you're very centered. Even when things happen that I know that you're going through something, I don't feel like you wear your pain on your sleeve, or your struggles. I don't feel like you do that. So I just want to ask you, like, how do you keep it together?
I mean, so one, as an actor, right?
Yeah.
Why put on my pain if it's not gonna if we're not doing a movie or a TV show, like what's the purpose?
What's
to
the
me,
purpose?
anyways.
Yeah.
Like, don't walk around moping us. Like we're all struggling.
Yeah,
everyone
of
is
course.
struggling.
Absolutely.
So there's no need for it. But for me, again, it goes back to what I talked about in terms of balance. I from when I moved out here, I always told myself, I'm gonna have a family here.
Really?
To just keep me grounded. I was never gonna go like, hey, I'm gonna wait for a certain thing or a certain amount of success.
Yeah.
To start a family. I'm like, I'm gonna start a family regardless.
Yeah.
So I was always gonna do that.
Okay.
I've always had like other things that I love outside of acting. There's a group of Cameroonian guys. I play soccer with them. We've been.
Oh, nice.
The group has been around for about close to 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And yes, they're like, oh, we see you on TV and stuff like that. But they're just people who I grew up with back home who just, they know me as me.
Yeah.
That's never going to change. They always just, and you don't let anything that has happened to you go to your head. You're still you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Maybe somebody saw you on TV, but it doesn't change. But for me, it's balance. I have my soccer team that I follow.
Nice.
Like, that's what gives me my highs and lows. When they lose, I'm upset.
Yeah.
But I know they'll win some of the day. So it's never about the art. It's never about the work that we do.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of that we're not in control of. Same like sports, like with sports. There's so much of that you're not in control of, but you just enjoy the highs. Know that there's gonna be some lows. Don't get too low when it happens.
Yeah.
Go high when you have the opportunity. Look for ways to just be balanced.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like my kids. Like okay, with the show, I got some amount of fame. And at the mall, I was one day I was at the mall with my daughter, and somebody wanted to take a picture with me.
Aww.
And they came and they're like, "Oh my God, I watched the show. I'm such a big fan of that."
Yeah.
And my daughter rolled her eyes and walked away. so
I'm so sure. I knew you were gonna say something like that. I knew it.
Like so you may think you're a big deal, but to your daughter, she's just
like, oh brother, this is annoying.
Daddy,
I hear a lot of celebrities. They say their kids don't think of them as a celebrity.
Yeah.
They're just like, what's brother like that? Yeah.
You know, so and even for everybody who knows you, there's somebody who doesn't know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
exactly,
it's just. It doesn't, you can't let it get to your head. You can't let it get to your head.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at some point in time, now if I become super, super famous,
right.
I will let it get to my head a little bit. I have an entourage and security and all that. Of course. All that cool stuff. But, I mean, for now, for me, it's just having other things you do outside of acting. Your whole life can't be
that. I agree.
Be passionate, be driven.
So good.
Be disciplined.
Yes.
But remember that at the end of the day, you're a human. You need friends.
Yeah.
Some of them would all be actors. You need family. Obviously, your whole family wouldn't be a bunch of actors.
Yeah.
You need hobbies. You need other things that make you get up in the morning. So look for that dreams and goals and other things you can do. And that's what I do. I just have
that's so good.
So many things that occupy my time.
Yes.
So I never just get into this space
Spirits
of my whole life is this thing. If it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's finding the balance, because sometimes I feel that I'm not driven enough.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like,
that's interesting.
Dude, I feel like everybody's doing something.
Really?
And I'm not doing enough.
I don't see that for you. I feel like you do a lot of stuff.
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't think I do.
That's interesting. And actually, I understand that, because people, I could say that about me. People say all the time, like, "Ayo, you're doing a lot." I'm like, no, I'm not.
You are doing.
I'm really not.
I don't want to say doing a lot, because that sounds. Derogatory.
Right. But but doing, accomplishing things, basically.
Different things.
Yeah.
You're stage reading, doing a play, you're writing something, you're a one-woman show, you're doing a podcast, you're always doing something.
Everybody says that, and I agree. Some days I'm like,
no, it's great. It's
really?
Great. It's great.
I feel like I could do more. I feel like I could, but I'm like, at the same time, like, no, this is where God has me. This is where God wants me.
That balance of knowing that you're doing all these things.
Yeah.
And you could do more.
Yeah.
But also being very content with what you're doing at the moment.
Exactly. That's the balance. I do. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah. I do have that. I agree. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is so good. And also, of course, I wanted to ask that question too, because, there's this thing they always say about us women that we are in therapy and, we're in church and we do all this stuff. But for men, we're always like, well, do men, sometimes do men don't go to therapy or help them? So like, how do you, because it's mental health month, I think May is mental health month or whatever, and we always like talk about that. I always hear a discussion about that, about how like, it seems like it's easier for us women, but not men. And I see men like you who I've known for a long time, who I feel like not all men are like you. And I know some men who they really do wear all of their hard stuff on their sleeve. They just can't get it together. Like I've been around men like that. And I've kind of been the person who's always trying to like, it's going to be okay. You'll be fine. I'm motivating them and it's not working. The specific man that I have in mind, I had to do this with to the point where it was draining me because I kept trying to pour into him so much that he didn't know how to like pour into himself. So that's kind of where this question came from too. Okay. And I just feel like, I hope he's listening to this podcast, because I really do think it's important to do something every single day to help yourself mentally, feed your soul somehow. Don't get so stuck in, I need to be here. I need to make this money. I need to be this person before I can be happy, And that's the problem with him.
I've never been about that. So I've been lucky in that aspect. But there's one thing which we say back home in Pidgin, which is you pass me for money.
Yeah.
I pass you for poor.
Oh.
So like, okay, you're richer than me.
Yeah.
That means I'm poorer than you. So there's something that I'm doing that's more than you.
Okay.
So if you put it into perspective, like I can never feel that down because I'm here struggling with the fact that I haven't worked an acting job in a while.
Yeah.
But then there's people who haven't even had the opportunity to ever have an acting job.
Yeah.
So there's always somebody worse off than you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I agree.
And I'm very appreciative of the fact that the work I've done in the past years or like what I've accomplished so far is, even though it's not like, oh my God, up there, but it's a lot more than a lot of other people.
Yes, so it is.
I'm very aware of that fact.
Yeah.
Very aware of that fact.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just don't let anything get to my head and just stay grounded. It's so easy.
Because you live in gratitude. I say that all the time. Yes, gratitude is what I see in you, because I have that too. I'm always full of gratitude no matter where I'm at in my life. I always see a million good things going on before I complain about one thing that I don't have. Always. That's my posture. I love it.
It was great. I'm not very religious.
Right.
I'm not big on organized religion.
Right.
So
that I know.
Sorry for my
I know that already. That I know.
But I believe in prayer.
Yes.
And like practically every night before I go to bed, my prayer is like, hey, thank you, God. Thanks for today.
Exactly.
I just talked to him like he's my buddy who did some stuff for me. I'm like, hey, man.
And that's what it's about. Yes.
I did a podcast. It was fun.
Yes.
I ate this food. It was fun.
Yes.
I had some difficult times. I'm like, hey, man, thanks for today. And,
come on.
And I said, let's do it again tomorrow. That's literally my prayer at night. Like, thanks for today. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Every night?
Every night. I try to. Sometimes I may pass out and not pray.
Guilty. That's me. I try to do it every night too. I fall asleep sometimes.
I just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Short, like, hey. And it's always a thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things to be thankful for.
Absolutely. Yes.
So health.
Yes.
Maybe no wealth, but health.
Health, yeah. These days health is wealth, but
friendship, opportunity.
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah. I love it.
So why not lean into that?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You're blessing me today.
Oh, no,
blessing myself.
You blessed me by having me here. So I appreciate you.
You're welcome, Mom. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was so good. All right, moving on. Okay, so this question's good. I have this question here only because I keep hearing it in different places, and I wanted to literally just get a man's opinion to see if it's true. It says that men get married when they meet the right woman or when they feel financially and mentally ready. Which factor do you believe plays a bigger role in a man's decision to commit?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and don't take this the wrong way.
Okay, I won't.
I have a problem with broad generalizations.
Okay.
Because they typically tend to be wrong.
Okay.
So that felt like a broad generalization. But again, there's a lot of truth to that statement.
Yeah.
I think most men will get married if they meet the right woman because why not?
Why not? Okay, that makes sense.
And a majority of men also would want to be financially okay to get married. That's
right, of course,
what it entails.
Right.
So that is also true. And they would also need to be in the right mind space, like, oh, I'm settling down.
Okay.
I want to start a family. This is the woman for me. So yes, all of those things are true.
Right.
Going back to my personal experience, I've been married before. I'm divorced now.
Okay.
When I got married, it was because it was the right woman.
It was the right woman.
That's how I saw it.
Yes.
And I was in the right frame of mind for that.
Okay.
I wasn't financially where most men would like to be if they got married.
Okay.
So that's why, that's why I called it a generalization.
Gotcha.
So it would be hard for some men, they would get married when all those three things are aligned.
Yes, that's true.
For a bunch of men, it will be one of them. It could be two of them. And it could be a certain two and not always the same two.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it just varies. It just varies. At the end of the day, it's just there's so many reasons that go into why a man or woman decides to get married.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, because
everybody's different.
Everyone is unique. So that's why I said the question was a little bit of a broad generalization, but even though it's not necessarily wrong, but it's actually right.
Yeah.
So because it captures three main reasons why a man may get married, where they feel like I'm ready to start a family, I'm ready to be the head of a household.
Okay.
And that typically has to do with finances and also the right woman. Because you could have finances, you could be ready to get married, but if you don't have the right woman,
I was about to ask you a question about that. That was my I was about to ask you, so I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking in my head, is it possible to have the right woman in your life, but you're not financially, mentally, emotionally stable and ready to get married? Obviously, it could happen that way, and then you would miss out on the right. Okay,
it could.
I thought so. Okay, so you're right. I agree with you when you say that. Yeah, broad generalizations. Yeah, because every situation is different. Everybody's different. You just never know.
And the weird thing with a lot of marriages as well is that a bunch of them end up in divorce.
Yes,
so
they do.
It's not like it's a guaranteed project, like, oh, I'm doing this movie and this is a great movie and everybody knows this movie is a great movie and it's always been a great movie. No.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you can set up, you could have all the right ingredients, right woman, finances right, right mental frame of mind, and 2 years down the line, something changes.
Yeah.
10 years down the line, something changes. So it's one of those it's a very tricky question.
I agree.
But it's very correct. And those are three important elements that are needed to be present for a man to get married.
Exactly.
I think.
Exactly.
I'm no expert.
Exactly. Of course. I gotcha. It's literally, this was just something I wanted to ask a man, because I just hear about it a lot and I hear different perspectives of it from different men, because like you just said, every situation, every love story is different, the way, the timing. Like I heard a story, I think it was on Black Love, where this guy was homeless and lived in his car when he met his wife, and like she stuck by him, and they grew together until they fell in love. He proposed. I think by the time he proposed, he had an apartment and a job, but when she met him, like he had nothing. He was homeless, so it's like you just can't say that everybody's story is the same way.
It's not, because what people fail to realize is that because relationships mean different things to different people.
Yeah.
But everybody assumes that marriage means the same thing to everybody.
Everyone, and it doesn't.
Marriage is just another type of relationship.
Yes.
And if relationships mean different things to different people, marriages will mean different thing. Marriage will mean a different thing to different people.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was good. I'm learning. I mean, marriage is something I want eventually, but I'm taking my time. I'm not in a hurry. And I'm very big on making sure that that I'm preparing myself, but also looking for all the right things in a partner at this point, because I'm getting older, things are changing, my life is different, and my perspective as far as what I see in a marriage, in a relationship, it's so different from what I thought in my 20s and 30s.
Definitely.
Obviously, when you're pushing 50, you're not thinking the way you were when you were, in your 20s and 30s.
Sometimes that change you're talking about,
yeah,
I don't want to call it growth, but I'll call it change. That change, or that change in perspective you had from your 20s to your 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens when you're in the marriage.
Okay.
Which will change your view of the marriage.
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of what was important to you in your 20s, maybe let's say you got married in your 20s, is not what's going to be important to you in your 30s.
That's true.
Even
okay.
though you still be married.
Okay.
So now there's a whole different element of trying to make sure you and your partner, whoever your spouse is, can all reconnect and be back on that same page. Because it could also be the same for them.
Yeah.
And what they wanted from you may be different from what they want from you in 10 years time.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard things like that too, that you both you evolve and change throughout your marriage.
Yes.
Because different things change you in different phases of your marriage and life. So we have something called Battle of the Sexes competition part 2 coming up, guys, June 22nd in Glendale. If you want tickets, follow me on Instagram. My tickets are in Eventbrite. I hope you can make it. I want you to come. This is the stuff we're going to be talking about.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And it's always nice to get perspective, especially for someone who's been married before. For a lot of us who are dating, having a hard time, wanting to hear, experiences, just hear things like this. It's helped. It's helpful. It's very helpful. So I'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, that's coming up, guys. So you guys want to come to Battle of the Sexes. It's going to be juicy. All right. Last one. And then I wanted to do a lightning round. This last question is just stuff that's happened to me. And I'm just curious if you've ever experienced any of this, because you have in my opinion, a nice level of success so far. And I'm curious, have you ever experienced jealousy towards another actor's success, or felt another actor or industry professional was trying to compete with you? And how did you handle it?
Not the second one, but the first one, yeah, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, that makes sense.
Because, again, there's all a bunch of us, my contemporaries, the actors, that you know them, you've seen me with them. They're all my friends.
Yeah, they are.
We go to auditions, and it's all of us sitting there.
Yeah.
So there was a moment in my career when I was like, how did he get that? It should have been me.
Yeah.
And
we all have that.
I felt it. I was jealous. I was angry.
Yeah.
I was frustrated.
Yeah.
Again, the good thing is I never let it affect my relationship with the other actor.
Okay.
So, but I felt it. You can't stop some of those feelings.
Yeah, you can.
You just have to let it wash over you. It's like the rain. Sometimes you have to get from building A to building B, and you don't have an umbrella.
Yeah.
Just walk, get wet, get back in, it's gonna drop, and you keep on with your life. Yeah, but I've definitely felt it.
Yeah.
And to me, I just what helped me, because I have a very specific example, but what helped me was the fact that in less than a week, I was the other person now.
Yes.
I had an opportunity for something where I'm like, I don't really deserve this. And somehow it's come to me. And I feel that I know for a fact that they're more deserving. I felt that there were more deserving actors than me who didn't have the opportunity I had.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, dude, just shut it. So I've never felt that way anymore, but I have.
You have in the past. I would say most of us have at some point. Yeah. I think at the place I'm at in my life now, I'm very settled and content in who I am and what I'm doing. But I have had that in my past where I've seen people doing certain things and I'm just like, oh, why isn't that happening for me? But I think for me, it came from, I don't know. I just kind of once I started to get more comfortable and more settled in my purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and what my destiny is, I don't even pay attention. I'm just very more, I want to put that energy into what I need to do. And and I think that's what helped. I'm like, well, I don't want to put the energy into what somebody else is doing. I'm happy for them. That's great. In fact, I'm very excited seeing people win. I'm that person. Every time I see good things happen, even for you, people I love, when my friends are winning, I'm like, yes, I feel like I'm winning,
that's where I am
I
now.
said that, before.
I'm much better with it, but I've gone through, I had, I think it lasted for about a year.
Really?
I think so, where just in general, I'm just like, how did because you compete and you think you could do a better job. You think you could interpret a role better than someone else. Yeah. And but at the same time, I'm like, dude, there's some stuff you've done which wasn't great. Someone could have done it better than you. Right. So I was quick to let that go. It was a short phase. It wasn't too bad.
That makes sense. But in my mind, I want to we have a little bit of time. For me too, I think one thing that helped me, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if I see people succeeding in something that I want, I'll watch and see how they did it. And then I will literally like try to be a mirror. Oh yeah, that was the other part of the question. I almost forgot. Is there healthy competition? I guess I think of that kind of like a healthy competition thing. Because I'm like, oh, if somebody's done it, that means it could be done. So I'm going to do it.
So for me, just for clarity.
Yeah.
It was never about like, oh, I see somebody has been able to direct the movie or they did. No, in general, people succeeding, I didn't have a problem with it. I was loved and I was happy about it.
Gotcha.
For me, it was just more about like audition for this role. Got it.
Yeah.
Why did he get
Okay.
it
I got you.
me?
That makes sense. Okay.
Or like you would see, just it was typically that. It was never just in general someone's success. No, it was just like something specific. Like, oh, I felt I had a great audition. I felt I put in a lot of work for this. But at the same time, I'm forgetting. You never know how much work they put in.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yes.
So I would think it and I would get over it.
Yeah.
But then I realized that there's other things I could be doing and just don't worry about it. And what helped me get out of it was I was in acting class with this kid who, in class, everyone considered him to not be a good actor. He would never know his lines. He didn't take his work seriously.
Okay.
That's what he was as an actor. But he just had this personality. He had this smile.
Interesting.
And then he booked the Best Buy commercial.
Oh.
And like, I just remember going like, how is this kid who just never knows his lines, never does the scene study work, he doesn't really get into it the way the rest of us do or the way I did.
Yeah.
How did he book this? And it was driving me crazy.
Wow.
And what I talked about how it flipped for me right away was I booked a short film. Which he wanted to do.
Oh,
and he was telling me how, oh my God, I'm so lucky that that's what he wanted. So I was just like, oh wow, I'm there telling myself that I want what he wants, but he's there wanting what I want.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's how it goes.
Don't look down on what you have. So that's exactly made me get out of that like really quick. Even
that's
another
so
thing
good.
that happened, I did Nip Tuck. And I played this character that was supposed to be from Angola. And the director liked me. He's like, hey, Tony, on your resume it says you speak a different language. I'm like, yeah, I speak French. It's like, okay, say your first line in French. And like, I was like, oh, people from Angola is a Portuguese colony. They don't speak French.
Okay.
And I'm like, anybody from Angola who watches this is going to be so upset.
Yeah.
And I tried, I'm like, well, can I, like, don't they speak Portuguese? And he's like, nah, you've traveled all over the world. You speak a whole bunch of different languages. So it's okay that you speak French. And I did it.
Okay.
But that just made me realize, like, initially I used to feel bad about people. I'm like, oh, how is an American actor playing an African role? How is it this playing that? But then I'm like, okay, this is me from West Africa playing a character from Angola.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, you can't complain about that because now this is you with that same opportunity.
Yes.
What did you want? Did you turn it down? Did you say integrity wise? So I just realized you can't be angry at what somebody else is doing. Even if that was handed to them. It was handed to them for a reason.
For a reason, yes.
Other times they've auditioned for it.
That's so good.
Like,
yes.
Why are you upset?
Why are you upset? Oh, that's so good.
They got it.
Ooh, that's so good.
They got selected.
Yeah.
They got selected for a reason.
For a reason. It's true.
And you've been selected for a reason for different things.
So, and other people are going to be looking at you like the same way, like, oh, he got that part.
Yeah,
like,
so to me, it was like, why put that type of energy
out there?
I mean, the good thing
I love
never
it.
Put that energy out there. I just would think about it.
Well, of course. Which is natural. That's evil. Natural. That's all of us.
Like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
There's just enough love. Yes, we can compete.
In a healthy way, right?
I mean, I don't know if it's healthy because we all want the same roles.
Okay.
But there is enough for all of us.
Okay.
So it's up to us to take the toxicity out of it.
Yes.
And just compete.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes you'll win. That's why I go back to the analogy of sports.
Yeah.
Somebody will have their chance. Everyone will have their chance.
Yeah.
At some point in time.
I love that. Oh, I so love that. Oh my goodness. So much nuggets in there that you're throwing, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. So I just want to do these rapid fire things. I just found these. I thought they would be interesting. And in my head, like I told you, I feel like you would pick one thing, but I know you're going to surprise me and pick something totally different than what I think you're going to pick. So here we go. First one is, would you rather play a hero or villain?
Villain.
Villain.
Yes.
Everybody always picks villain. It's true. I have to agree with you. I have to agree with villain. Yeah. Paris picked villain too. It's so much more fun. I agree. We can always be a hero every day, but not a villain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Would you rather host Saturday Night Live or attend the Oscars?
Host Saturday Night Live.
Really? Okay.
I love Saturday Night Live.
Really? Okay.
I watched it when I was in college in Mankato.
Yeah.
And I'm going to age myself.
You're young.
You early 2000s.
Okay.
On Saturday night.
Yeah.
When my friends would be going out, my roommates would be going out, I couldn't leave until I watched Saturday Night Live. I've watched every single episode of Saturday Night Live from the 2000s till present.
All the Eddie Murphy years. I loved it with Eddie Murphy.
Far back.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
But my years with
I've been watching it
the
since
Adam
then.
Sandler years.
Okay.
And that crew, David Spade, that crew.
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh,
all
wow.
Of them. I love SNL.
Oh, my goodness.
SNL.
I didn't even know this.
It's not even about hosting SNL. I just want to be able to be there at the end. You know, at the end where they're greeting each other and the cast is on stage and you get to say thank you for.
Yes, I love that part.
That's all I want to do.
Really?
I don't want to.
I love that part.
I don't want to host the show.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to come up there and say thank you, Lorne Michaels. Thank you to the cast. This was the best cast in the world.
Yes.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's all I
can see you do that too.
That's all I want to do.
Really? I can totally see you doing that.
I would do that over attending the Oscars.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Next one is, would you rather improv on the spot or perform a monologue?
Perform a monologue.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one I thought you would pick. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not surprising you. I'm sorry, I'm not surprising you.
Well, that one, yeah. No, it's okay. Would you rather do all your own stunts or use a stunt double?
Woohoo! Oh my gosh.
I knew that was going to be a tough one. I know what you're thinking in your head.
The macho,
I want to say you'll do your own stunt, but it depends on the stunt, right?
Yeah, it depends on the stunt.
It depends on the stunt. Because that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, I would love to do my own stunts. By the way, no, it depends on the stunt. Because if I have to do something like, I don't know, jump out of a plane, I don't know. But
you know what?
It depends.
Stunt man. I don't want to do my own stunts.
Yeah.
I'm scared of heights.
Yeah. Are you really? I didn't know you were scared of heights. Oh my
scared of heights.
Oh wow.
I can't ride a bike. There's like all this cool stuff that I don't want to do. I don't want to get punched in the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Stuntman all day.
Stuntman. Okay. Would you rather star in a Broadway show or a Netflix series?
Broadway.
Broadway?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. I didn't know you would pick that.
Broadway.
I had a small inkling that you would pick that, but I wasn't sure. That's what I would do.
Theater was
of course.
My first love.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The day I fell in love with acting was I remember it specifically. I was about 7. I was watching The Gods and Not to Blame by Ola Rotimi.
Okay.
We were in Port Harcourt, Uniport.
Okay.
And the theater was called The Crab because it was shaped like a crab.
Okay.
And I just remember the end when the what's his name has become the king and he's realized that he killed his father and married his mom and he had poked out his eyes and his children / brothers were leading him out and as the play was ending, that was the end of the play and they were walking and I'm like I still have goosebumps thinking about it. Even I have goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
And I just told myself I want to be able to make people have the same feeling I have right now.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That's when I knew I wanted to be an actor.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't act on it.
Right.
For many years after that, but that's when I knew I wanted to be an actor. And that was the first thing that made me go, wow, that was amazing.
Really?
So theater has been my first love.
Oh my goodness! Because I know you have a background in theater, but I didn't know it was like your first love.
Yeah,
I don't know. Wow!
Unfortunately, I'm
That's
not
amazing.
like a real theater buff like people who went to drama school and they've done like countless numbers of plays.
Yeah, like
but
me.
Theater was my first love. That's like, what I love.
I'm a play fanatic. I'll always choose a stage over anything, over film, TV shows. As much as I love film work, I do love film work. Don't get me wrong. I love TV shows, but if I have to choose, it's easy. It's always stage. It's always live theater for me. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Okay. Would you rather play a biographical, like a biography role, like, or based on a true story, or fiction?
Fiction.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So biography would be harder, right?
Because you have to. I'm a lazy actor, but there's just so much more you could get. Mm-hmm. I think the reward is greater if you do it and you do it the right way.
Okay.
But, for me, I want to be able to tell a story, and I love creating a character as opposed to being somebody who existed, who was alive, because you're not really creating a character.
That's
in a way.
it. There you go.
You're trying to recreate something that existed already.
That's good.
So
yeah.
I like the fictional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I have to agree with you on that one. That's so good. Last one. Would you rather win an Emmy for Best Comedic Actor or host the Golden Globes and roast everyone?
Oh, win an Emmy.
Win an Emmy?
Yes.
I knew you were gonna pick that one.
Yes.
I have to agree with that too. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
this
you
was
so
so
much for
good.
having me. This was amazing.
This was so amazing. Oh my goodness. So before we go, can you tell everyone like how they can follow you on your upcoming projects, everything you have going on? Like, what's the easy way that they can follow you? And
easy way, Tony Tambi, Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I think I'm on. What's the new thing? It's not we don't do Twitter anymore, right?
Yeah. Is it X or something
X,
like that? Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on X. Not that often, but Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and Consequences. My web series, Consequences.
Yes.
Just look it up in the Consequences, Tony Tambi. But you can see consequences.tv. You see us on Instagram, Facebook, and we have season 2 is currently on YouTube, so it's available to watch for everyone, free. Go check it out on YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you guys can follow me on Instagram. You know, I'm Ayo Magic on all platforms and Facebook and all of them. I believe I'm still Ayo Magic, AYOMAJEK. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please come back for another episode of Girl from Schenectady podcast, where I'll have another amazing guest and more juicy topics. Smooches. Mwah.